Welcome to the Two Beans in a Pod. Today we're diving into a topic incredibly close to our hearts. Actually, our producer is a true dog lover, incredibly close to his beagle. So this deep dive is really for him and for all of us who share that special bond. We're stepping into the fascinating world of Inside of a Dog by Alexandra Horowitz. And this isn't your typical dog training manual, not at all. Instead, Horowitz invites us to radically shift our perspective, to truly understand what it's like to experience the world as a dog. It gives us this really unparalleled look at their inner lives. So our mission today is to cut through the noise, maybe distill the most important insights from her work, and give you that well-informed shortcut to understanding our canine companions.
Exactly. Get ready for some serious aha moments, I think. Things that will fundamentally change how you interact with that furry friend in your life. We'll explore some surprising facts, definitely challenge some common assumptions, and help you see the world through their eyes. Or perhaps, well, more accurately, through their nose.
Right. So let's unpack a core idea that shapes this entire deep dive. We humans have this powerful tendency to project our own feelings and experiences onto our dogs. We anthropomorphize. It's often amusing, sure, but ultimately it can lead to some pretty significant misunderstandings about their true reality. Think about something as simple as a raincoat. Lots of dog owners use them. We assume the dog dislikes the rain, just like us, right? And that the coat provides comfort or protection. But Horowitz suggests a fascinating alternative. What if that close-fitting coat is perceived by the dog as a kind of dominance signal?
Like how a higher-ranking wolf might physically pin down a subordinate.
Exactly. That could produce a really discomforting feeling rather than comfort.
This is precisely why understanding what Jakob van Uexküll called the Umwelt, the unique subjective self-world of an animal, is so crucial. To really get this concept, consider it like the humble deer tick. Its entire world, its Umwelt, is incredibly limited. Just two stimuli, basically. The smell of butyric acid from warm-blooded creatures, and warmth itself. That's it. It's blind, ignores sound, doesn't perceive the complex world we inhabit. Everything else is effectively invisible to it. And our human projections, they can be completely off the mark. A dolphin's smile, for instance, it's just a fixed physiological feature, not happiness.
Right.
A chimpanzee's grin can actually be a sign of fear. Even chickens, surprisingly, when given plenty of space, often choose to move closer to other chickens.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it defies our human preference for personal space. Maybe it mirrors their natural tendency to brood with their mothers. The point is, we have to find ways to confirm or refute our assumptions about animals, rather than just assuming they feel or perceive things just like we do.
So if we apply this to something we take for granted, like a rose, what does a rose look like, or maybe smell like, to a dog? Not a thing of beauty, not in the way it is to us.
Probably not.
Instead, it might be indistinguishable from other plant matter, unless it's been, say, urinated on by another dog, or stepped on by an animal, or handled by a human.
That it gains significance.
Then it gains vivid interest, a completely different meaning than the one we assign to it.
And this truly brings us to what underpins a dog's unique Umwelt. Their profoundly different sensory world. If we really want to get inside a dog's head, we need to appreciate this divergence. Okay, so dogs are, first and foremost, creatures of the nose. That's the headline.
Right.
While a human nose might have around 6 million sensory receptor sites, a sheepdog, well, a sheepdog can boast over 200 million.
200 million.
And a beagle, like your producer's dog,
Yeah.
over 300 million. This difference isn't just big, it's truly exponential. It's down to a much higher density and diversity of olfactory cells.
That's incredible.
To put that ability into perspective, a dog can detect a single teaspoon of sugar diluted in 1 million gallons of water.
1 million gallons. That's like
2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Their world is this intricate stratum of complex odors. Imagine if every tiny visual detail we see, they could smell. A rose petal, for instance, doesn't just look pretty. It has pollen footprints for a dog's nose. A stem holds a record of who held it. Even a tiny fold in a leaf has a distinct odor profile. And they can likely even smell the passage of time as a petal dries. They can smell its decay.
So can they really smell things like fear or anxiety?
Yes, seems likely. And there's no mysticism involved here. Fear simply has a scent. Our spontaneous sweat under stress carries a unique odor. Adrenaline, which is unscented to us, is probably readily detected by a dog's incredibly sensitive nose. Increased blood flow brings chemicals to the surface, diffusing through the skin.
Things we just don't pick up on.
Exactly. And some small-scale experiments have even shown trained dogs can detect certain cancers. Skin, breast, bladder, lung, with high accuracy just from patient samples.
That's pretty amazing. And this profound understanding of scent, it changes simple interactions, doesn't it? Like, while we humans inadvertently leave our scents everywhere, dogs are profligate with theirs, as Horowitz puts it. Take urine marking. It's not just about marking territory, which you said is an outdated myth.
Right, it's much more complex.
It's a form of communication about identity, sexual readiness, social confidence, even who was there before them. It's like leaving this incredibly detailed note for other dogs.
Like a canine social media post.
Yeah. So when a dog greets you, maybe offering your hand for them to sniff is a polite and effective way for them to gather crucial information about you.
Definitely. It's similar to how they'd investigate another dog's scent, or even our own scent-rich areas like armpits or mouths.
Yeah.
Just, in a more comfortable way for both species.
Makes sense. Okay, so their visual systems are also vastly different from ours, right?
Hugely different. While our eyes have that tiny, super sharp central focus point, the fovea, dogs have something called an area centralis. Think of it as a wider sweet spot for focus, but it's not as pin-sharp as ours. This means your dog might actually overlook small objects, things, within maybe 10 to 15 inches directly in front of their nose. They just have fewer retinal cells committed to receiving light from that specific part of the visual world.
So that's why they sometimes can't find the treat right under their nose.
Exactly. Don't puzzle over it. Their color vision is also limited. Red, yellow, and orange just don't look the same to them.
How do they look?
Often appearing as sort of faint or stronger greens. If they seem to discriminate these colors, they're likely noticing differences in brightness, not the hue itself. And here's a surprising one. Dogs have a higher flicker fusion rate.
Flicker fusion? What's that?
It means they process visual information more quickly. Humans perceive continuous motion at around 60 cycles per second. But for dogs, it's more like 70, 80 cycles per second.
Okay, so what does that mean practically?
It means they see older, non-digital television screens as a flickering sequence of still shots, not a continuous stream like we do. This may be combined with the lack of smells coming from the TV, might explain why many dogs just aren't that interested.
That makes so much sense. It's a striking contrast. We are gestalt lookers, right? We take in broad strokes. Our brains fill in the gaps, like with our blind spot. Dogs, by contrast, are more struck by immediate details. They'll notice a limping person down the street or a sudden contrast in sound, and things we might just gloss over.
Yeah, they pay attention to those tiny moments, the slivers of time between our blinks, our mundane habits like tapping fingers or shifting weight. Seeing them as electric may be unknown signals.
What about hearing?
Well, dogs have an incredibly wide range of hearing, but they're less precise at pinpointing where a sound comes from. They often hear sounds sort of unmoored from their origins. Interestingly, though, they are highly sensitive to the prosody, the rhythm, the stress, the tones of human speech.
Like baby talk.
Exactly. They respond with alacrity to baby talk, as Horowitz says, partly because that high-pitched, sing-song tone naturally distinguishes speech directed at them from all the continuous human chatter around them. High-pitched sounds are also naturally interesting, think excitement or maybe injured prey, so it makes them respond more easily to higher, repeated calls.
And what about barks? Is there really information in them?
Oh yeah. Many dog researchers agree there's a wealth of information there. Unlike wolves, who bark pretty rarely, mostly just for alarm, dogs have developed a much more elaborate barking language, probably precisely to communicate with us.
Interesting.
Spectrograms show barks are these complex mixtures of growls, whimpers, yelps, with varying gists, you could say, depending on the context.
Like for attention, warning, fear.
Greeting, play.
Yeah.
Remember Rico, the famous border collie from Germany?
Vaguely, yeah.
He could identify over 200 toys by name. Now, that's not true language as we understand it, but it shows the impressive cognitive equipment dogs possess for understanding human cues in the right context.
Wow. Okay, before we dive deeper into what dogs actually know and how they think, if you're finding these insights as fascinating as we are, please do remember to hit that like button and subscribe to Two Beans in a Pod. It really helps us bring you more of these deep dives.
Okay, so moving beyond just the senses, let's explore what dogs know about the world, themselves, and even about us. Their history, as we know, begins with wolves, tens of thousands of years ago. Some DNA evidence suggests it could be as far back as 145,000 years.
Wow.
And Dmitry Belayev's groundbreaking 1959 experiment with silver foxes in Siberia, it dramatically showed something amazing. Just by selecting for tameness generation after generation, you can rapidly get dog-like traits.
Including physical changes.
Yeah. things like floppy ears and curled tails. It seems to happen by affecting genes related to stress hormones and developmental windows.
Yeah.
His foxes, for instance, opened their eyes earlier and showed fewer responses later, which basically extended their bonding window with humans.
That historical context leads to a really crucial point about our modern relationship. This prevailing myth that our dogs view us as their pack and that we have to be the alpha.
Right, the dominance theory.
Horowitz makes it really clear this is an outdated, simplistic model. Our lives are just far more stable and predictable than a wild wolf pack's.
Totally different structure.
And dogs, by nature, are kind of social opportunists. They simply find humans to be very good animals to attune to, often because we're their consistent source of food, shelter, comfort.
Right. And importantly, socialized wolves don't just turn into dogs. Dogs possess these unique people skills that wolves generally lack.
So what's really fascinating is how dogs' attention overlaps with ours.
Yes, they pay incredibly keen attention to our location, our subtle movements, our moods, and especially our faces. And it's not just about fear or appetite, like the popular idea might suggest. A dog looks very particularly at humans.
How so?
They can use our attention as information, basically, to predict what we'll do next, or even what we know.
Give me an example.
Okay, experiments show dogs are surprisingly adept at understanding our attentional states. Like, they preferentially beg from people who are looking at them, rather than someone blindfolded or facing away.
They know who's paying attention.
Exactly. They even outperform chimpanzees in some of those tasks. More remarkably, they seem to understand when they can get away with bad behavior based on the owner's attention level. Yeah. They might disobey a lie-down command more quickly if the owner is, say, watching TV, or has even left the room, because the owner's attention is harder for them to gauge then.
Okay, what about that classic guilty look? You know, when you find them with trash everywhere and they have their ears back, tail tucked.
Ah, yes, the guilty look.
We attribute human-like guilt to that pose, but is that really what's going on in their head? Or is it something else?
Well, the research indicates it's actually more about an anticipation of punishment. It's linked to the owner's displeased appearance or tone, not really an understanding of the past misdeed itself. The dog associates the owner's arrival and reaction with the reprimand, not the act of tipping the trash can, which might have happened hours earlier.
So they're reacting to us being upset.
Exactly. The guilty look is very similar to behavior shown in fear or submission. It means they've learned to look out for your reaction, not that they feel guilty in the human sense of understanding right and wrong about a past action.
Okay. Do dogs experience time like we do?
Well, they certainly exist in time. They use their circadian rhythms, our daily rituals, as landmarks. We're often the primary source of their knowledge of days, mealtime cues, walk time cues.
Right.
And dogs are naturally habitual, very sensitive to recurring activities. Just like bumblebees that can be trained to wait a fixed interval for sugar, dogs are likely capable of measuring time spans. Rats and pigeons can do it too.
But are they bored when home alone? Is that a real thing for dogs?
It seems so. Boredom can be objectively identified in dogs through signs like flagging energy, reduced activity, repetitive movements.
Like what kind of movements?
Things like excessive licking, maybe chewing their fur, even rocking back and forth. So, yeah, if your dog exhibits these kinds of behaviors, they might well be experiencing ennui or boredom.
Good to know. And self-knowledge. Do dogs know their own size? Owners often joke that small dogs think they're big, or large dogs try to be lap dogs.
Right, the Chihuahua complex.
Yeah, but Horowitz suggests dogs do generally have a sense of their size.
They act on objects like picking up appropriately sized sticks and interact with other dogs in ways that suggest they know their physical limits.
Any specific examples?
Well, she mentions sheepdogs growling at sheep, which is a specific dog-to-dog communication. This suggests they perceive the sheep as other dogs, perhaps overgeneralizing their own identity, but acting appropriately for their size in that context.
Interesting.
Ultimately, the human-dog bond is unique and really profound. Dogs are inherently social creatures, and their evolution alongside us has made them pretty ideal companions. They have this innate drive to affiliate with other animals, including us.
What makes them so ideal?
Well, several things. They're diurnal awake when we are. They're generally manageable in size, though with huge breed variation, obviously. They have familiar body parts, they're trainable, pretty resilient, and their lifespan scales reasonably well with ours, unlike, say, a short-lived rat or a very long-lived parrot.
Okay.
But one really compelling reason for our deep bond is their cuteness, what scientists call neoteny.
Neoten.
Yeah, they're exaggerated, infant-like features, big heads, relatively small limbs, those big saucer eyes. These trigger our innate caregiving instincts, much like human babies do.
Oh, that makes sense. And they clearly seek contact.
Absolutely. Dogs have an innate drive for contact. It's similar to how Harlow's infant rhesus monkeys back in the 50s sought comfort from a soft cloth mother over a wire one that provided food.
Right, I remember that study.
When those monkeys were exposed to fearful objects, they ran straight for the cloth mothers. It showed this desperate need for contact comfort. Similarly, puppies vocalize less if they're given a soft toy. There's a deep need for physical comfort.
But you mentioned earlier that we might misunderstand their experience of touch.
Yes, exactly. While we love to touch them, dogs might suffer our touch in some ways, as Horowitz puts it. Their tactile welt is different. What we see as a gentle pat on the head might be experienced as slightly aggressive, maybe akin to how a dominant wolf might muzzle bite a subordinate.
Oh.
Pulling a tail, though often a play provocation between dogs, isn't aggression unless you don't let go, and a dog rolling over onto their back. It's doing much more than just asking for a belly rub. It's the same posture dogs use to allow their mothers to clean their genitals.
So maybe aggressive belly rubbing isn't ideal.
It might lead to an unpleasant surprise for the human. We really need to learn their preferred touch zones and methods by carefully watching their reactions. Do they lean in or pull away?
Got it. And those enthusiastic greetings, the face licking, the kisses.
Ah, yes. While it feels heartwarming to us, that face licking is actually an ancestral behavior. It comes from wolf pups attempting to prompt regurgitation from parents returning to the den with food.
Really?
Yeah, it's a deeply ingrained social behavior. Your dog probably wouldn't be unhappy if licking your face actually prompted you to spit up your lunch for them.
Okay, maybe I'll skip that.
But beyond these specific behaviors, dogs and humans engage in this remarkable dance of synchronicity. Think about just walking together or playing fetch. It's a call and response. And the dog often responds with such alacrity, such readiness.
Yeah, they seem tuned in.
They function at a pace close to ours, reacting keenly to our actions. This allelomimetic behavior, this powerful, often unconscious mirroring where we pick up on each other's mannerisms or match each other's pace, it really strengthens our bond.
Is there science behind that bonding effect?
Yes. Studies show human cortisol levels, the stress hormone, can actually decrease from positive interactions and play with dogs. It indicates real stress reduction. Conversely, dogs whose owners use lots of commands during play, implying a more disciplinary style, tend to have higher post-play cortisol levels themselves.
Interesting. So the way we interact matters biologically, too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And while science can deconstruct aspects of this bond, the actual feel of the relationship can't be fully reproduced experimentally. Our interaction is what Horowitz calls happily double-seeing. We perceive the dog, and we perceive the dog perceiving us.
That mutual observation.
Yes, that awareness of being seen by our dogs. It's a huge component of our attachment. It changes us in our own, making us more sensitive, perhaps, to their experience. The philosopher Jacques Derrida once wrote about feeling startled and embarrassed when his cat saw him nude, because the animal reflected his own image back to him in a way. We revel in our pets, and a part of what we see when we look at a dog is the dog looking back at us.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener? It means when you walk through your neighborhood, your dog's constant sniffing isn't just random aimlessness. It's them reading this rich, detailed newspaper of smells and stories that we completely miss.
A whole world of information.
Their intense attention to your every move isn't just about obedience, it's them deeply studying you, trying to understand your world. Understanding their unique realm isn't just about learning facts about dogs. It's about enriching your own experience of the world and deepening that incredibly unique bond you share.
Yeah, maybe try hiding food for them to find, using just their nose. Observe them sometime without their knowledge, maybe with a video camera, see what they do when they think you're not watching, or play imitation games with them, matching their actions. These things can change your own welt and definitely deepen your relationship.
Great suggestions. Thank you for listening to Two Beans in a Pod. If you are interested in the book, Inside of a Dog, please order it from the link below.